Okay, here's my next floor of games. Here I got some Sega Saturn games, all things. Okay, and one Sega CD game. Here's Sonic CD. Here's Sonic 3D Blast. Here's Saturn. Soviet Strike. The original Command and Conquer. Madden NFL 97. Mech Warrior 2. And a baseball game. I think it's called World Series Baseball 98, and also a Wii game that it wouldn't fit on the upper floor with the Wii game, so I had to put it here. A limited edition of The Last Story. This is now a very rare game. Like it has this awesome art book. Okay, and here's some Switch games that I have here. I got the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy here, that comes included with this Crash themed controller. And I got here's a little figurine of Luigi here. Here's some Switch games. I got Dissidia 5 Complete, Fire Emblem Warriors, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And also Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection. And here it's supposed to be where Mega Man 11 is supposed to be, so this is like a placeholder. Let's see, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, and Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers. So yeah, I have a lot of like retro compilation games here. Let's see. Now here's the very juicy one here. We got here some PS1 games. Let's see. I got the Japanese copy of Dragon Quest VII. The North American version, I think it's rare. And I got Azure Dreams. This is a very forgotten Konami game here. It's like a dungeon crawling with monsters where you have monster assistants. Assists. Okay. Crash Bandicoot Warped. We got Chrono Cross. Okay, then Dragon Seed is an interesting RPG where you're supposed to put different CDs on your PlayStation so you can make your monster stronger. It's kind of like Monster Rancher. It's Monster Rancher basically. Eternal Ice. This is like a JRPG. It's a JRPG here. Look at that cutie. Okay, Final Fantasy Chronicles. This has Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. And we got the ones that everyone knows. We got FF7 here, Final Fantasy 7. We got 8. And we got 9. Also we got Gundam Battle Assault. This is a great fun fighting game here. Jet Moto 2. It's like a racing motorcycle game. Legend of Legaia is a great Sony original RPG here. Loaded is an insane fun top-down shooter. It's like the predecessor of Hotline Miami. Mega Man X4. One of my favorite Mega Man games. Metal Gear Solid. Need for Speed V Rally. Let me get these here out of the way. Okay. We got Oddworld Apes Odyssey. No, Apes Exodus is the sequel to Apes Odyssey. And Point Blank. This requires a light gun, which I have. RPG Maker. SpongeBob Super Sponge. Okay, we got Striker 1945, Tetris Plus, Legend of Dragoon. This is another awesome RPG. The first Tomb Raider, and lastly, Warhammer: Shadow of the Horned Rat. There's a sequel to this called Dark Omen, but I don't think I have it. But okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot about these. These are Fire Emblem pins that I got when because I pre-ordered Fire Emblem Three Houses, and And before we move on, let me give you a quick look at these. This is this Gaia D2. This is the soundtrack to the game. This is like a demo disc of a PS2 RPG of Rogue Legacy. This is, and it came with a poster. Let's see, a poster which is basically the cover of the game, I think. And here's Link's Crossbow Training, Wii Sports, and also some Sega Saturn games. I got the bootlegs. This is the sample, basically a demo disc. We got Virtual Cop, Virtual Fighter 2, and Daytona USA. Alright then, so that's it for this. So let's see here's what I got behind those games that we just saw. Okay, here we got, let's see. We got a few PC games here. Command & Conquer, the first decade. It has like the first, all the Command & Conquers that they made in the first decade since the inception of the series. Rise of Legends, which I think is an expansion to the game Rise of Nations. Age of Empires collection. This has the first 2 games plus their expansions. Diablo 2 and the expansion right there, the Lords of Destruction. Here's Myst, and here's the second game, Riven, Praetorians, Star Wars Republic Commando, Siberia 2, and Warcraft 2 Battle.net Edition. Which I wonder why hasn't Blizzard re-released this? So they never re-released this game. I don't know why. And here's a Japanese Sega Saturn game. It's like a Solo Crisis. It's like a 3D RPG thing. And here's some Dreamcast games. Here's Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, and Sword of the Berserk Guts' Rage. Yeah, there's a Berserk-based video game here. I think I think there's 3 video games in total, like this, and there's also one on PS2 that never came out in the West, and the one for PS4 that was made by the same people who made Dynasty Warriors. We got some GBA games here. These are, I printed the covers. I printed the covers, and Contra 3 Advance, Fire Emblem, the first one that we got, and Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, Golden Sun, and Golden Sun Lost Age, Mega Man Battle Network 2, Shining Soul, Sword of Mana, Tactics Ogre. Let me show you one of the covers. So, this is how it looks like. Usually I'm gonna get bad. They're based on the GBA boxes. So here are some covers that I found to print. Age of Empires, The Age of Kings for DS. Brain Age 1 and 2. Front Mission. This was I think the first time we got this game in the West, I think. Here's one of the Professor Layton games. Diabolical Box. New Super Mario Brothers, Mega Man Star Force Leo version, and here's 3DS games. Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, and Theatrhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call. Oh, and here's some PSP games. Here is Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, the remake of the original Final Fantasy, and here I got Final Fantasy Tactics, but I need to print the cover for it because it's just a disc. Hammer and Hero, Jeanne d'Arc. This is a really great RPG here about Joan of Arc. And also the remake of the first Mega Man X, the one that's called Maverick Hunter X. And also here we got some 8BitDo controllers. This is the one with that looks like a Super Nintendo one. Here's the one for the end that looks like an NES controller. Here's another of the Super Nintendo one, but without the analog sticks. And here from another company, Retrobit, which is also really good. Here's for the 6-button controller of the Sega Genesis. And here is one for the controller for the Sega Saturn. They're all Bluetooth, so you can use them on PC or mobile phones, etc. Okay, let me get. Okay, and also I got here. That's the action replay for the Sega Saturn. And I got here some. Okay, let me just give you a quick. Here's a little art book of Assassin's Creed Unity. Let's see. Really nice. Here's the book, the code book for the Game Genie on the NES. And here's a little. I love this. It's from Udon Comics. It's a little encyclopedia of every single Robot Monster from the classic Mega Man series, except for Mega Man 11 because that game wasn't out yet. So they later made an updated book where it adds the Mega Man 11 Robot Masters. But I'm okay with this one. And here's some Club Nintendo magazines here. That's what Nintendo. That was basically Mexico's version of Nintendo Power. Well, that's it for my game collection. So, hope you enjoyed it. Well, guess what? We are not done yet. I still had a few PS1 games that I want to show, but I don't have box cases for them, sadly, so they're loose. But here they are. Tomb Raider 3, Tomb Raider 2, Siphon Filter 3, Strider PS1, Spyro, the first one, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, NFL Blitz 2000, Mega Man Legends 2, that's a pretty rare game actually, and Mega Man X5, the original Medieval, Medal of Honor Collector's Edition, Medal of Honor Regular Edition, Gundam Battle Cell 2, Grand Theft Auto 2, Final Fantasy Tactics, Croc Legend of the Gobos, Bushido Blade, and 2 Dreamcast games, Sega Sports NFL 2K1 and Sega Bass Fishing. So yeah, now it's okay. It's over with the PS2 games now. Alright, now we're going for a real treat here. Here are my retro games. Okay, first of all, we have here Metroid. We have it's the manual for this NES soccer game, but it actually has some. Get this, Bible Adventures, the bootleg game from. Okay, and we also have a box here of Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Also, we got here another a manual of Krusty's Funhouse, but it's actually another bootleg game here, Death Race. And here we got the Game Genie. Remember that I showed you guys the manual, the code book? Well, here's the Game Genie itself of the NES. Okay, now let's check out the games that we got here. Okay, I got 1993. Okay, and we got here Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, Battletoads, Batman, Bionic Commando, Blaster Master, Dr. Mario, Double Dragon 2, don't have the third one, DuckTales, don't have the second one, Contra, Castlevania, Simon's Quest, don't have Dracula's Curse, Gradius, Dragon Warrior, the only one I have. Final Fantasy, Ghost and Goblins, Godzilla, Monster of Monsters, Golf, NES Golf, Golgo 13. I don't have the sequel, which is called the Moffat Conspiracy. This is the one that's called Golgo 13 Top Secret Episode. Guardian Legend, Gyromite, King's Knight, Kung Fu. Gary Tassili is really underrated game right there. It's really good. And Little Nemo the Dream Master. Capcom made a bunch of great games for the NES. Okay, now let's check out this one here. We got the original Mega Man, Mega Man 2, and here's 3. I don't have the other 3 games. Metal Gear, Snake's Revenge, Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden 2, I don't have 3. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Kabuki Quantum Fighter, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Robo Warrior, in very neat condition right there, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Star Tropics, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, and Street Fighter 2010, Strider, Super Mario World. This is the single cartridge version, not the combo one. And here's a triple one, the Mario, Duck Hunt, and World Class Patent. Mario 3, don't have Mario 2. Ninja Turtles, Top Gun, The Second Mission, Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Okay, so that's it for the NES games. Okay, now we're gonna check out the Super Nintendo collection. As you can see, I already have them organized here in the box. But first, I wanted to show these two things. Here's the Game Genie for the Super Nintendo. I don't have the code book for it. And here's the Super Game Boy, which here I have Metroid 2 Return of Samus inserted. Okay, now with the collection. Okay, here I got Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, F-Zero, Killer Instinct, Zelda Link to the Past, Pilot Wings, SimCity, Mario Kart, it's a little shoddy condition here, Super Scope 6, and I actually do have the scope, but I don't have the receiver, so it's pretty much worthless. It doesn't work because without it. And Super Punch-Out, which again, really not very good condition, but hey, way better than the Robo Warrior, right? Star Fox, Batman Returns, Cybernator, Darius Twin, Final Fantasy 2, which is actually 4 because we didn't get 2 and 3 back then. And Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Goof's Troop, really wonderful condition, right? It's a really good game, by the way. Really good co-op game. Gradius 3, Lagoon, the first Mega Man X. Don't have 2 or 3; those are extremely rare and expensive. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Ninja Warriors. This is actually a reproduction copy, but since the actual one is very rare too. Secret of Evermore, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, and Super Battleship. This is one of my dad's favorite games. He used to play that a lot back in the day. And here's Super Godzilla, Top Gear, one of my older brother's favorite games. Total Carnage. UN Squadron. Vortex, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, really great Capcom game there. Wonders from East, through East 3. The subtitle is Wonders from East. Zombies Ate by Neighbors. And finally, a Super Famicom game, Romancing Saga 2. Okay, that's it for my Super Nintendo games. Alright, now we're gonna check some N64 games, and also some Game Boy games. Well, first off, I have the Rumble Pack here for the N64. N64 controller. Okay, here we got Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Doom 64, Excitebike 64, F-Zero X, GoldenEye 007, Mario Kart 64, Paper Mario, Star Fox 64, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Oh, and also, here's something nice. Yeah, I got some instruction manuals here. I got the one for Smash Brothers. Here's the one from Mischief Makers. I don't have that game, by the way. Man, these manuals are great. They used to be so colorful and so fun to look at. Mario 64. Mario Kart 64. Look at this. It's so wonderful. I miss these types of instruction manuals. Here's Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Here's Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. Yeah, it's not just an instruction manual, but the second half of the booklet is actually a short comic book, since the Turok series started off as a comic book series. So I'm guessing this is like a little prequel story to the game. Let the hunt begin. Yeah, I'm guessing because of the subtitle. Okay, now I'm gonna check some Game Boy stuff here. I got the Game Boy camera. They came in different colors. I think there were like little differences between different versions that had different colors. There was this red one. There was also a yellow one, and I think a blue one as well. And here's a Game Boy Color game, Mega Man Extreme 2, Tetris, Dr. Mario, Final Fantasy Legend, and Castlevania The Adventure. Okay, there we go. So that's it for that. Okay, now let's go with some Sega Genesis stuff. Okay, first off, here's the Game Genie for the Sega Genesis. And also there's an obscure cartridge, Virtual Racing, which looks drastically different from the second typical Genesis game. This was basically their answer to the 3D chip for Super Nintendo with the Star Fox. And also, okay, let's see. Okay, here we got a 6-pack. It has the first Sonic game, the first Golden Axe, first Streets Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On. So, yeah, Aladdin, Batman Revenge of the Joker, which is actually a remake to an NES game called Return of the Joker. Columns, Earthworm Jim 2, Fatal Fury 2, Out of This World, Primal Rage, Shinobi 3, Sonic 3D Blast, Splatterhouse 3, this is a really underrated Namco game, really. Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition, Sunset Riders, not as good as the Super Nintendo version, because it's missing 2 characters, but well. Still good, still fun. And Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist, and we got here a couple of 32X games, Star Wars Arcade it's called, and Virtua Fighter. And also one more Genesis game, Sonic and Knuckles. Like it has this cartridge here, this slot here, so you can put either Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, so you can play those games with Knuckles when having this. And also I got here some Game Gear games. We got Sonic Triple Trouble, Sonic Chaos, Sonic 2, Sonic 1. They're different from the Genesis versions. Rystar, Mega Man. This is actually a very rare game. It's expensive. Super Columns, and the original Columns. And also here in a protective case, that's the Game Gear version of Sonic Spinball. And now we got some more here. We got Crackdown. Yes, there was Crackdown before the 361. Here it is. It was originally an arcade game, and it got ported to the Sega Genesis. Here I'm gonna show you guys some boxed Genesis games. Crackdown. Or the first Earthworm Jim. Jurassic Park. Rocket Knight Adventures. This is a very, very rare. This is a rare game as well. I was so dang fortunate that I was able to get it for cheap in a swap meet. Not a swap meet, in a flea market. I got it for so cheap because it was bad. One, it was from a seller that didn't quite care much for what he was selling, and like at least it seems like it. And also because it was at a time where you could still get retro games for a considerably cheap price if you know where to look, before they started ramping up the prices, because hey, there are people who collect these, let's make them higher price. Sega Classics, the first Shinobi. Here's the first Sonic game. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. Here is Spinball. Here is Tiny Toon Adventure. This game is really fun. War Song. This is a pretty good RPG. It's like a Fire Emblem-like game. A War Song. This was actually the first Langrisser game, but in North America it was called War Song. At least this game. And here's X-Men. Well, that's it for my Genesis games. Oh, okay, and lastly we got some Atari games. Atlantis, Combat, Tank Pong, Invisible Tank. Okay, I think this is a compilation game. Warlords, Pac-Man, Battlezone, Sword Quest Earthworld, the very first Spider-Man video game ever made, Vanguard, another compilation game, Street Racer, okay, and here's the one Atari 5200 game. Mega Mania. Okay, yeah, it's a weird cover here. And also get this. I have an Atari Lynx. And also here is a Sega Game Gear, and it works. It works. They both work. Okay, so that's it for all of my retro games. Thank you so much for watching. So later on I'll do the anime collection. Ta-ta!